What's good? It's your boy Starworker X back here with another video, and I got a new what if. It's called "What if Deku Had the Hand?" Part 1. Now, if y'all don't know what the hand is, it's a stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's the stand of Okiyasu. I think it's the stand of, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the stand of Okiyasu Nijimura, and I'm not gonna spoil this ability just yet. But there are spoilers for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable in this video. So if y'all haven't watched it already, go do that. And then come back and watch the video. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with all your friends. And yeah, my goal is to hit 15 subscribers by my birthday, which is in May. So yeah. Alright, let's get on with the what if. Alright, so to start this what if off, Deku is 4 and he's in pre-K. All the other kids are starting to unlock their quirks, and Katsuki Bakugo unlocks his quirk, Explosion. He shows it off, and little explosions pop out of his hands. He starts to mess with Deku because he hasn't unlocked his quirk yet. But then when Deku says, "I'm gonna be better than you, I'm gonna have the strongest quirk in here," Bakugo gets angry, and then he makes the biggest explosion he can and launches it at Deku, and then all of a sudden a blue aura forms around Deku, a weird figure that only Deku can see appears. Deku was thinking, what in the world is that? The right hand of this figure he thought it was special. It looked like it could do something powerful. The right hand of the figure swiped at the explosion, and it disappeared. Deku was like, what happened? Bakugo was like, why did my explosion disappear? And then he tried to do it one more time. It disappeared again. The hand had swiped. And then Deku says, this must be my quirk. This is awesome. And then Bakugo says, you have a quirk? You can snap things out of existence. Then Deku says, there's something beside me that's doing it. Then Bakugo says, no, there's not. What do you mean? And then Deku says, yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. You want me to draw him? Deku then sits down and draws. Then he does the best that he can to draw the hand. Well, he doesn't have a name for him, but he tries to draw his figure the best he can. Bakugo says, that's what it looks like. It doesn't really look all that good, but okay. And then then Bakugo says, he kind of looks like a blueberry. Deku says, he's not a blueberry. You know what, just forget it. Bakugo says, you must be going crazy or something, because I don't see anything besides you when it happened. And then Deku suddenly thinks, it's standing beside me. I know what to call it, a stand. And since it swiped away with your explosion with its hand, I'll call it the hand. And then Bakugo says, okay, crazy. And then Deku says, I'm gonna ask my mom to take me to the quirk doctor. I have a hunch that I think I have some otherworldly power instead of having a quirk. And then Bakugo thinks to himself, Deku is really being loony right now. But he shrugs it off and goes somewhere else to play with some other kids. When Deku gets home, he says, I think I've unlocked my quirk. When he says, when Bakugo launched an explosion at me, some some blue aura started to form around me, and some weird figure started standing beside me, and it swiped the explosion away. I don't know where it went, but it it didn't harm me at all. Um, Inko, more concerned of why Bakugo tried to throw an explosion at her son, she says, "Why would Bakugo do that?" And then Deku says, "It doesn't matter. I protected myself with I think it's my quirk." And then Inko says, "Oh, okay. You want me to take you to the quirk doctor?" Deku says yes, and then they hop in the car and then go to the quirk doctor. The quirk doctor says that Deku doesn't have a quirk, but there is something up with him. Deku does have a power, he just doesn't have a quirk. So Deku says, well, what is this? What is this? I call it a stand, and I call it, my name for it is the hand, because it can swipe things away with its right hand. And then the doctor says, oh, a stand, you say? No, I haven't heard anyone use that term in a long, long time. And then Deku's confused and says, a long time? How old are you even? The doctor says, don't worry about that. And then he says, you have a really great power, and you have a strong mind. And this really great power is basically a psychic ability. It's a projection of your soul. I guess something triggered it, like you being in trouble. Deku then tells him the situation about Bakugo and how he threw his explosion at him. And then the figure beside him swiped his explosion away. And then, what's her name? The quirk doctor threw a sharp knife at Deku. The same people could see the blue aura, but they couldn't see the hand. Then the hand uses his right hand to swipe away the knife. Then the quirk doctor says, very impressive, very impressive. I'm pretty sure your soul's projection of itself is subconsciously keeping you safe. Interesting. Okay. The doctor then stops time. Then he throws multiple knives at Deku. And then, when time unfreezes, in a millisecond, the hand swipes away all of the knives. Deku's not controlling his stand by himself. It's subconsciously protecting him. And then the quirk doctor says, okay, let's see. What stats should I give it? What best describes it? Okay, so let me think. A in speed. We don't know the range yet, so I'll give it, pretty sure the range is good. I'll give it a B. Growth potential. This kid seems pretty smart, so I'll give it a B. Power, destructive power, S, and that's all you need to know about this power that you have. Keep that locked in your head. SABB. That's for destructive power, A for speed, B for growth potential, and B for whatever else it was. I forgot what it was that quick, but I'll probably remember it later. But anyway, Deku, then the court doctor writes all that down on a sheet of paper, and then Deku says thanks, and then he says, "What you did, I know you were testing me and training me. If I didn't have this power, I would be dead now." And then the court doctor says, "How does a 4-year-old know all this? This is really weird. I guess his psychic ability is hiding his intelligence." And then Deku and Inko leave the court doctor's office and the hospital. When Deku gets home, he tries controlling his newfound power, his stand. Deku throws up a piece of paper, and then he visualizes his figure, the hand, swiping his right hand at the paper. His stand comes out, swipes his right hand at the paper, and disappears. Then he goes down to his mom, where his mom is. Goes downstairs to where his mom is, and he says, "Can I use this blanket and practice something with my stand?" And then she says, "Sure, honey. That's an old blanket anyway." And then Deku does it right in front of her. He uses the hand to swipe the middle of the blanket, and then the two halves of the blanket that were split come zooming back into each other, and they reform as one. Inko's mother said, not Inko's mother, Deku's mother says, "Well, that's cool. When did you learn how to do that?" And then Deku says, "I figured out if my stand the hand and swipe things out of existence, I'm sure that it could swipe through the middle of things and it would be brought back together because it has something to do with space, with the laws of physics in space. And the laws of physics say that nothing can just disappear. So if something does just disappear, the matter will try to fill the space where it was. Any matter will try to fill the space where it was. So that's how I figured that out." The more and more Deku uses stand makes him smarter because he's basically practicing psychic ability. Then he goes upstairs and then he falls asleep. Just like that. He's worn out from using his stand, using his mind too much. Kind of like how the Sharingan wears. Starts to make you go blind the more you use it. But then Deku has a dream. It's the hand standing in front of him. And then he says, "You were more worthy than Okuyasu Nijimura. I was his original stand. But in one of the universes he got killed, so I had to find another host. It was you. You seemed worthy." Deku says, "Huh?" That's the end of the What If. Bye.